ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। शांति शांति शांति।
Hello everyone, I am Nitya Hapani from grade 6, your host for the day. Have you ever taken a magnifying glass and used it to harness the sun's power? I remember as a kid burning holes in a piece of paper with a magnifying glass was my favorite pastime. You could somehow manage to harness the sun rays and focus them on one little place on the planet and cause almost anything to burn. Prayer is like that magnifying glass. It allows the believer to harness all the power of God and focus His mighty power upon one place, person or circumstance on the planet. This is the awesome power of prayer that we so often neglect. A consistent habit of praying regularly can set a spiritual fire around you. So, with these thoughts in our mind, let's begin the prayers.
શ્રી તુલસીદાસ રચિત મર્યાદા પુરુષોત્તમ ભગવાન શ્રી રામના ગુણગાનજીમાં સમાયેલા છે એવી સ્તુતિ. શ્રી રામચંદ્ર કૃપાલુ ભજમન હરણ ભવ ભય દારુણમ, કે ભગવાન શ્રી રામનું ફક્ત નામ જ કાફી છે તમારા દરેક દુઃખોને, તમારા ભવના પાપોને હરી લેવા માટે. શ્રી રામ કે જેના નામ માત્રથી પથ્થર પણ પાણીમાં તરવા લાગે છે, જેમણે શબરીનો ઉદ્ધાર કર્યો, જેમણે હનુમાનની ભક્તિનો સ્વીકાર કર્યો, એવા ભગવાન શ્રી રામની સુંદર સ્તુતિ પ્રસ્તુત છે.
श्री रामचंद्र कृपालु भजमन हरण भव भय दारुणम्। नव कंज लोचन कंज मुख कर कंज पद कंजारुणम्। कंदार्पया गणितयमित छविनवनील नीरज सुंदरम्। पीत मानहु तड़ित रुचि सुचि नौमि जनक सुतावरम्। भजो दीन बंधु दिनेश दानव दैत्य वंश निकंदनम्। रघुनंद आनंद कंद कौशल चंद दशरथ नंदनम्। श्री शिरमुकुट कुण्डल तिलक चारुदार अङ्गविभूषणम् आजानुभुज सरचापधर संग्राम जित खर दोषणम् इति वदति तुलसीदास शङ्कर शेष मुनि मनरञ्जनम् मम हृदय कनज निवास गुरु कामादि खल दल गंजनम् श्री रामचंद्र कृपालु भज मन हरण भव भय दारुणम्
Hello guys, today is Tuesday, so boys will have their assembly and I'm sure you will be really very excited. Today's topic will leave your eyes wide open. You will be marveled at India filled with a gush of patriotism. Today is not Independence Day, not Republic Day, but every day is a day of India. Today we are going to talk about India, but not modern, urbanized India, ancient and advanced India. But at this point, you would be wondering that ancient and advanced, they both are almost antonyms. But believe me, I'm right. Ready to be mesmerized? Here we go!
First, let's have a shloka. What say?
योजनानां सहस्रं द्वे द्वेशते द्वे च योजने एकेन निमिषार्धेन क्रमाण नमोऽस्तु ते.
Okay, that was the shloka. But what does it mean? Well, first let me tell you from where the shloka is. It is from the Rig Veda. And if you haven't figured it out yet, it's a shloka dedicated to the sun. Well, the translation is, with deep respect, I bow to the sun who travels 2202 yojanas in half an emesa. Okay, now what is all this gobbledygook? Well, if you look at it closely, it is a marvelous shloka. When we do the modern day conversion, which I will not give a detailed explanation about. I don't want you to get bored with the math. The modern day conversion leaves us with the result of 3,02,301 km per second, which is just 0.1% more than the original speed of light. 2,99,792 km per second. Whoa! Isn't that phenomenal? Some sages in old times knew this even when there were no telescopes or microscopes. Well, let me tell you one more striking detail. Antares, one star in the sky, really bright. Our ancients referred to it as the Jyeshtha or the eldest. Why would they do this unless they knew that Antares was one of the biggest stars in the sky?
108. Well, you might say, boys, this is enough with the jokes. That was mere coincidence. Well, today we have more such discoveries and ideas. Not just that. Now, let us look at some maths. Please don't groan saying, oh, mathematics, I will be bored. Nah, this will be way more exciting than you imagine. I'm sure all of you pretty much know that the number 108 is holy to Hindus. Just like Islam has 786, Hindus use a holy number 108. Do you want to uncover the secrets behind this number? You will be utterly shocked. First, I will share something simple. The first three natural numbers, as all of us know, are 1, 2 and 3. Now, you raise these three numbers to their same powers. So, 1 raised to 1, 2 raised to 2 and 3 raised to 3. Now, multiply them. 1 raised to 1 times 2 raised to 2 times 3 raised to 3 is equals to 108. Now, a little bit of science. Did you know that the distance between the earth and the moon is 108 times the diameter of moon? The distance between the earth and the sun is 108 times the diameter of sun. The diameter of sun is 108 times the diameter of earth. Wanna hear more? The Sarsen Circle Stonehenge has a diameter of 108 feet and has 108 towers around it. 108 is very sacred. Even the Rudraksh and the Rudrakshmala are 108. Every Hindi deity has 108 names. And all of these our ancestors knew. 108 is also a representation. 1 represents the beginning, 0 represents the void or nothing, and 8 represents the power or infinity. How did our ancients knew this?
These days, in modern times, we have advanced doctors who perform specific surgeries, operations and medical treatments. We often consider it as complex. For example, rhinoplasty, plastic surgery and many more. Now, let's go back in time. Way back to Mr. John Orlando Rowe. He was the first one to perform the rhinoplasty. But is that true? Well, it is false. If we go back in time, way back in around 600 BCE, we learned that Sushruta, an advanced surgeon in India, was the first one to perform the rhinoplasty. He even recorded his account on it. He is also the author of Sushruta Samhita, which mentions over 700 medical herbs for various cures. And shockingly, if you didn't know, he is also called as the father of plastic surgery. He was the first one to do it. The plastic surgery was done in India in around 800 BCE. Even the Charaka Samhita talks about something as advanced as human anatomy in 100 to 200 BCE. They even performed the extraction of cataracts. Now this gets way too advanced. But how did these two know about the human body in such great detail? How did they discover it without basic microscopes?
Now let us go back to math. India has made tremendous amounts of advancements in math. Let us discuss about the Pythagorean theorem. For those of you who don't know what is the Pythagorean theorem, it is basically a mathematical derivation that states that the longest side of a triangle, the hypotenuse, squared is equal to the sum of the other two sides, squared. Whoa, that is some pretty complex stuff. Well, it is the common notion that it was Pythagoras, the first one to propose this concept. But that is actually not true. In fact, it dates back to the Budhyana Salva Sutra in 1000 BCE, and Pythagoras himself had to come to India to study it. And that is the reason the Pythagorean theorem is also known as the Budhyana theorem. Another great mathematician that we all take pride in was Aryabhatta. He not only introduced the number 0 to the world, but also gave us the sine table that contained the values of degrees 3 to 90. While we struggle to prove all of this, our ancestors did this way back.
Okay, now we have to agree our ancestors were actually advanced. But we have more examples. Let me tell you about another process called Taviju Raksha. Taviju Raksha is not only a religious process but also a scientific one. But first, let me tell you what Taviju Raksha actually is. Taviju Raksha is when, after the delivery of a baby, a small part of the umbilical cord is cut and placed into an airtight copper capsule. This is tied to the waist of the growing baby. The other part of the umbilical cord is kept in an earthen pot and dug deep underground. Now, what does this signify? Is it some sort of protection from external forces? Well, yes and no. Yes, because our ancestors believed that it kept us safe from external forces. And no, because it was science. Taviju Raksha is the process of stem cell preservation, which nowadays costs a lot of money and is even rare. But our ancestors valued the importance of stem cells and preserved and used it for various different purposes. Again, how did they do this without the help of microscopes?
Oh my god! Did you know all of this? Most of us doesn't know that India was such a technological advanced country that too in ancient times. Let's keep all the information aside. Simply understand that India was advanced. We have not mentioned other countable examples of Indian advancement, but you must have got the idea. All of this gives us the learning that how rich we were in our heritage and culture, and how we used to live in all the terms of all the categories.
Ratnakar Dhauta Kadam Himalaya Kiriti Neem Brahmarajarshi Ratnadyam Vande Bharata Matam. Salute to my mother India, whose feet are guarded by the Indian Ocean, whose head is ornamented by the Himalayas and possesses many Brahma Rishis and Rajya Rishis. While we hoist the flag with pride, it is not to be forgotten that the flying flag symbolizes the countless soldiers who laid their lives for Mother India. So let's express our gratitude towards them by rising up for the national anthem. Assemblies are done.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Assembly Vishram. As Margaret Mead has rightly said, never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has. The fuel powering this going to be revolutionary group is questioning the reality in order to change the reality. So, I would like to invite Shivram sir for the point to soldier to ignite a spark in us.
What is India? Is India just a land of geographical boundaries with its mountains, valleys, rivers, and landforms and water bodies? That might sound as a correct answer at a primary level, but deep down, India can be better known with this poem by Atal Bihari Vajpayee who says, भारत कोई जमीन का टुकड़ा नहीं, एक जीता जागता राष्ट्र पुरुष है। ये वंदन की भूमि है, ये अभिनंदन की भूमि है, ये अर्पण की भूमि है, ये तर्पण की भूमि है। यहाँ की हर नदी नदी हमारे लिए गंगा है और यहाँ का हर कंकर कंकर हमारे लिए शंकर है। हम जिएंगे तो इसके लिए, हम मरेंगे तो इसके लिए, और मरने के बाद भी हमारी अस्थियों को अगर गंगा जी में कोई कान लगा के सुनेगा तो उसमें से आवाज आएगी भारत माता की जय। That is real India. So now when we hear the words like India is a developing country, it breaks my heart. Because for a fact we do know India was much more developed back then. Such example is a very popular example given in movies like Hawai Zada or Chalk and Duster. That's the distance between Earth and Sun. Tulsidas ji back in 16th century, much before 18th century, when the world scientists calculated the distance between Earth and Sun, Tulsidas ji very playfully wrote in his poem, not even a scientific journal. He said, Jug sahasra jo jan par bhanu lilyo tahi madur phal janu. Jug means 12,000 divine miles, Sahasra means 1,000, and Jojan means 8. So if you multiply the three, it comes to a figure which is 15 crore 36 lakh kilometer. So that's the power of ancient India. There are myriads of such examples and such questions and answers which are yet to be discussed in this current modern India. So let's keep asking ourselves a question. Have we discovered India enough? Have we talked about India enough? Or are we still languishing at the surface level of India, which is about the clothes, about a few festivals? That's good, but not enough. 2 recommendations from my side for everybody who wants to discover the idea and beauty of India. Discovery of India, a book written by Jawaharlal Nehru. And if you cannot read a book, try watching a series made out of it, which was telecast on Doordarshan years back, which is now available on YouTube as well, titled Bharat Ek Khoj. Second is a book written by Paul Brunton, one of the greatest spiritual explorers of the 20th century, an objective take on what India and Indian spirituality is, not through an eye of an Indian, but of a foreign explorer. Thank you. Ask more questions and get better answers. Have a great day.
Thank you, sir. As Dietrich Bonhoeffer has rightly said, music will help you dissolve your perplexities, purify your character and sensibilities, and during times of care and sorrow, it will keep a fountain of joy alive in you. So let's rejuvenate ourselves with some soothing music in the form of the exit song.
કહેવાય છે કે એક સારો વ્યક્તિ હંમેશા તેણે સેવેલા કે કરેલા વિચારોનું પરિણામ હોય છે. અહીં પ્રસ્તુત પ્રાર્થના ગીતમાં ઈશ્વરને પ્રાર્થના કરવામાં આવી છે કે હે ઈશ્વર, અમારા વિચારો હંમેશને માટે પવિત્ર રહે અને અમારી વાણી પ્રિય સત્ય રહે. જો ઈશ્વર તું અમને સારા વિચારો આપીશ તો તેના દ્વારા અમે સુંદર અને સારા કર્મો કરીશું અને પુણ્યનું ભાથું બાંધીશું. તો આવો જોડાઈએ આ પ્રાર્થના દ્વારા. અમારા વિચારો સદા હો પવિત્ર, હો વાણી અમારી સદા પ્રિય સત્ય.
विचारो सदा हो पवित्र,
हमारा विचारो सदा हो पवित्र,
हो वाणी हमारी सदा प्रिय सत्य,
हो वाणी हमारी सदा प्रिय सत्य.
ने कर्मो हमारा हो पुण्य विशुद्ध,
निकर्मो हमारा हो पुण्य विशुद्ध,
प्रभु हो हमारो आजीवन प्रबुद्ध,
प्रभु हो हमारो आजीवन प्रबुद्ध.
शांति नुवाजिंत्र बनिए,
हमें तारी शांति नुवाजिंत्र बनिए,
सदा स्नेह श्रद्धा ने आशा ने वरिए,
सदा स्नेह श्रद्धा ने आशा ने वरिए.
हमारो जीवन हो सदा सत्यनिष्ठ,
हमारो जीवन हो सदा सत्यनिष्ठ,
हमारो कवन हो प्रकाशे प्रतिष्ठ,
हमारो कवन हो प्रकाशे प्रतिष्ठ.
प्रभु सारी सृष्टि नु कल्याण थाए,
प्रभु सारी सृष्टि नु कल्याण थाय,
मळे सुख शांति ने संताप जाय,
मळे सुख शांति ने संताप जाय.
सत्यम शिवम सुंदरम जीवन
सत्यम शिवम सुंदरम जीवन
प्रभु सर्व काले त्रिवेणी रचाय,
प्रभु सर्व काले त्रिवेणी रचाय.
हमारा विचारो सदा हो पवित्र,
हमारा विचारो सदा हो पवित्र,
हो वाणी हमारी सदा प्रिय